into the suppliers three ways. One is from purchases, goods receiving. Once you've posted a GRV to status C, it will update the suppliers and update the general ledger, increasing suppliers and obviously debiting the general ledger side. To reduce suppliers, it's through the bank accounts. Once you make a payment to supplier, it will reduce the supplier. And then the third way is through purchase journal, where you can either increase a supplier's account or reduce it. And of course, the other side will always go to the general ledger. So let's look at the transactions of the supplier's ledger. Worksheet period 1 to 12. So the test company has 723 transactions with a balance of 340,113.18. So that is what's due to the suppliers. These are all the transactions that are in the database in the order that they're in the database. So you can filter on it. So if I want to look up a supplier, BRAD01, I will see all of this supplier's transactions. I can filter further and say give me everything that has numbers greater than 10, greater than 10,000, and I'll see all the purchases from this supplier greater than 10,000. And the previous, the other options in the suppliers is the suppliers summary age analysis. This is now taking the worksheet, getting the totals for each supplier and giving them the total of the worksheet 340,113.18, and in it you've got the total for each supplier into the aging categories. Current will be for period 12, February 2023, January, total, December, November, and October. You can double click on any supplier, and this will give you the individual suppliers' transactions. Once again, periods 1 to 12, but here we can just look at the last 2 months to give us an opening balance. So that's the total up to period 10, and there's period 10 transactions, period 10 payments, and what is in period 12. And going back to the suppliers' transactions. The other options you've got is you've got an individual account, so you can look up any supplier. You've got a ledger account, and you've got a pivot table. So the ledger account is taking the suppliers, any period selection, I can say period 10 to 12, and the total movement of all the suppliers with an opening balance at period 10, and the transactions for 11 and 12. So this supplier, CE01, had an opening balance 9135.80. In period 11 was a bank payment, which nets it off, and then in period 12 is the two purchases, giving the total of 31,062. And of course you get all your suppliers with all their transactions in a ledger format. Also you've got a pivot table. What a pivot table is taking suppliers ledger and pivot it into periods, period 1 to 12. And now you see the movement within the suppliers going from period 1 all the way up to period 12 and what the movement is. Okay, if you want to know just your purchases from the suppliers, if you go to geocode, say select multiple item, unclick bank, and now you will see unclick bank. And now you will see what were your purchases from your suppliers for the last 12 months. You can see DAN01 bought 1.5 million, 800, 709, 550 and 20. And if you double click on any one of these totals, you will get all the transactions that make up that total. Doing a journal adjustment. If you go to supplies and you go to worksheet 1 to 12, I'll show you the journal adjustments that have been done for the year. PJA, purchase journal adjustment. So there's 2 adjustments. So what was happening here is we were increasing the supplies by 9,250. So it's creditors, BCO1, debit, RCO1, which is purchases. So to enter a similar transaction as this, so let's enter a 100 Rand to FHS01. Go to purchase journal, go to journals, purchase journal, go to data entry, select the dates, make it the end of February. PJA, purchase journal adjustment, transaction number, period 12, GL code RCO1, a purchase account, call it to FHS01, FHS01, quantity 100 Rand, 1000 Rand is the VAT and purchase adjustment. It's always good to enter as much information in the details field, because later on when you want to come back to the transaction, you will always know what it is that you're updating. Update it, post it to suppliers, and all the accounting is looked after. So if I now go to supplier, summary age analysis, FHS01, and there we have a total of 1150. It's the 1,000 plus the 15% VAT. And there at the bottom is the transaction we've just posted.